Okay, right on. So, Mr. NightSpyder here at KeepitCity Studios. We're dropping by to do a quick review on something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, but I haven't really had the opportunity to. I'm actually really stoked about this. If you were born in the 80s or approximately any in that time range, you probably have heard Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all right? When I was a kid, I grew up. My grandma bought me a lot of them. My mom bought me a lot of them. I literally had everything, like a barrel of Ninja Turtles. But then, as you get older, things fall off. Your interest changes. But that never stopped me from watching the media. But that's an entirely different matter for a different time. But I got baited. They sunk in and took it. Okay. About 3 months ago, I was at Target, and they had a ad for you buy one Ninja Turtle, you get the other one 50% off. And this is not meant to be a plug for Target, even though I shop there like a crack addict. But this is one of the things you put off where you're like, you see the new type of Ninja Turtles, and you're kind of like, oh, when I was a kid, I was into that. But I don't know. And, like, if you collect figures, you really shouldn't have that type of diversity. It shouldn't matter. If you're into it, you're into it. And I picked them up, and I ended up going on this hunt through all these different Targets so I can have all of the current generation of Ninja Turtles. And I will tell you what, I was surprised beyond my expectations are blown away. They're made by Playmates. I don't remember if they made them back in the day when they're all stiff, but if you take a look at these figures now, you have a great deal of detailing in them. You even have Raphael as an example. You have a lot of the texture on the skin. In this particular case, they have the option where you can hold aside his signature way when he's angry or whatnot. If you look on the back, the shell also has some wear and tear, like he's been around the block a few times. And the articulation is phenomenal on these figures. So everything you imagined about the old Ninja Turtles back in the day, the old figures, these ones can do. They bend, they pose, they actually have a different setup of weapons. The facial details are amazing, the grins. And if you've read the comics as well, you'll see that when they're angry in their fighting mode or ninja mode, whatever you want to call it, their eyes go white. So I really like how they made sure they did that. So this is Raphael. It's definitely a fan favorite, a favorite of mine. A lot of my friends love him. Great figure. I think I must have taken tons of pictures of him and posted them on my IG. Go ahead and check that out if you get a chance. This one is Donatello, and I hope people would recognize him when they see him. I went on a manhunt for this one like you wouldn't believe. None of the Targets had it, so I ended up picking this one up at Walmart after digging through a pallet they had. But same details. He has a lot more of a serious expression going on, which I think is pretty cool. Because usually you see him, he's more of like they're all kind of goofy, but to see him this serious and ready to throw down, and the fact that they gave him a bow staff with a blade on it says a lot. So you can see, this kind of reminds me of the older comics. We have the longer neck, but it's a great figure. I think this is probably one of my favorites. I don't know if it's because I spent most of the time looking around for him than the others, but definitely a favorite. So if you can find it, get it, because this one's tough to find. Let me get this guy through the fall over. Leonardo. I definitely like the approach they did with his design. Also, a lot more for being Nickelodeon figures. They have a real dark expression, and I like that about them. They're definitely reminiscent of the roots, the older comics, the violence. Obviously, if you watch the current ones, it's not like that, which I do. But they definitely have a darker tone to the figures. And with the articulation and what you can do with the weapons, It's you definitely set the stage for some serious role playing there. And the last but not least, well, it kind of is my least favorite, but as a character, I don't hold any grudges. Michelangelo, I don't know why they went a different route and made sure that the weapons matched his whole general color scheme. The other ones don't follow that suit. If they didn't, maybe I'd feel different about it. Maybe if they would with a brown color, with or even a gray color. But the reason I don't prefer him as much is it comes down to the weapons. You can't do much with it. If you start trying to move it around, you'll get stress marks on the plastic there, and then that means it's going to break. So at this point, I just keep him in his hand. I don't even move him, so it really limits you. But that's my biggest issue with this figure. All the figures, buyer beware. I don't want to be a negative Nelly there. You have to be careful with the bandanas on the back. They tend to get loose. Like this one's a little wobbly already. That's the only thing. Other than that, the design is great. Michelangelo's, not to pick on him again, came loose. So what I ended up doing, if you do modeling, get some modeling glue, even super glue, kind of reinforce it and keep it in place. That will solve it. But for $8.99, you can't beat the quality you get for each figure. And if you get a deal like I did, where you buy one, get one half off, get the whole set. Totally worth it. I have some other ones of these I don't have with me right now, but I definitely been wanting to touch down on this. This is something to date. I still, when I have them out, when I'm doing photography, when I'm staging things, I'm just excited about it to this day. And I wish I bought them sooner. Because they've been around since the series was going on in Nickelodeon. I don't know how long that's been, but I've seen these for a while. And if you've been putting it off, don't. Just go for it. Get them. You'll be happy. You'll love it. It'll take you back. You might want to start buying the whole collection all over again. There's a new series that just got released. This is essentially the same mold, same color scheme. And for whatever reason, they painted eyeballs into them. I don't know if you'd want that, but I would recommend trying to find the ones without the eyeball paint, because I've looked at them and some of them have they're not painted properly, so it might look like they have a lazy eye or they're cross-eyed. So just try and find the ones without that. It's very, it's more retro to have it this way anyway. Oh, there he goes. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm gonna definitely post more content coming up soon. Transformers, games, media, comics, you name it. Just subscribe, like the video, provide any feedback, share your experiences, and will do my best to get back to you. Thanks for watching. NightSpyder collector, yeah, right? You see the sign.